Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. The week is almost over. There is still so much to do. But I hope everything is going well. The week is almost over. Hope you guys are working on some plans for the weekend. But I want to talk to you guys, to the parents. When we're dealing with conflict resolution, that's what we're going to talk about. When we're dealing with conflicts or situations, you guys can kind of name it whatever you would like, but when it comes to your children, and you need to go communicate with another adult on behalf of your children, whether it's school, sports, I don't know, church, wherever you need to go communicate with the adult on behalf of your children. Everybody knows that you love your children, and anytime you feel someone has done something to violate your child or has done something in an unloving manner to your child, you're already emotionally high because you're mad, you're upset, you're angry, and you want to get to the bottom of it. But there's two things I want to address. When dealing with these situations, sometimes it's the day before or the day after, excuse me, not the day before, but sometimes it's the day after or a few days after, and sometimes it just happens there in the moment. Like literally, sometimes you're there, someone says something that you feel is out of line, so it needs to be addressed. So I just want to be able to give two options. Either you can count yourself down or you can, relax and communicate with this adult in a respectful manner and not get belligerent or disrespectful or loud or all the things that we can get when we're dealing with someone coming against our children. So either try to communicate with that person in a respectful manner, or ask the person to step to the side, not to fight, please. This is not a meet me outside, but ask that person to step to the side so that you can address that adult as an adult in the way that you feel. My problem is when adults, parents, go to communicate on behalf of their children, they're not showing their children a right way to not only address another human being, but address adults. Believe me, if your child sees you go to talk to a teacher, principal, counselor, coach, whatever it is, and they see you popping your hands, rolling your neck, pointing your finger, yelling and screaming, not only is that going to teach them how to deal with conflict, how to deal with situations and circumstances, but it's going to belittle that person. So if it is a school environment or somewhere that your child needs to go every day, I think for the most part the adult can still deal with your child after that situation in a respectful manner. But your child is going to go to that environment every day thinking that if this person says something to me, I'm going to fly off at the handle. I'm going to disrespect them. I'm going to say what I want to say. And if they say something, I'm going to tell my mom or I'm going to tell my dad. And that's really a bad situation to put a child in, because not only are we not teaching them how to communicate, process their emotions, speak with the intent of accomplishing something, but it just makes the whole environment less productive. So again, parents, please find the goal. Find the goal. If your child has been done wrong, disrespected, spoke to in the wrong way, talk to that person. Everybody is human. Everybody is human, and I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying just let it go. But people are dealing with life too, and nobody's perfect. So it's a possibility that situations have nothing to do with your child that day. Nothing to do with their conduct, nothing to do with the way that they act, but also you know your child. So I'm just giving examples. So you know your child for the most part, and you can tell if the situation seems like something you're dealing with at home. But let your kids understand that we're all humans, and to not take stuff personal. There's no need for your child to engage an adult and feel like they've been treated wrong, and then they do the same thing, or you come and you do the same thing. It makes no sense, because it's just a cycle of disrespect. It's a cycle of disrespect. With all 4 of my daughters, and the oldest one is 19, so obviously she's been through the school system, and she's excuse me, on her 2nd year in college. So I've been dealing with environments with other adults having authority over my children for years. Schools, sports, churches, and obviously in 19 years some things are going to occur. So I've had the teacher that didn't like my kid. I've had the teacher that potentially could have been racist. I've had the coaches that were a little more belligerent than I would like for someone to be that's over my child. But I've never given my child license to be disrespectful to an adult. Matter of fact, I always preach to them to be mannerable and respectful, especially in big environments like schools and sports and churches, because these 1 or 2 individuals dealing with a group of gifted personalities, that's already hard. So I've always taught them that, and I've always expected it from them. When I go to any environment, schools or wherever it is, to talk to an adult on behalf of my child, and if we need to be in this meeting together, I conduct myself in a respectful manner. I make sure that I ask and answer questions. I make sure that if it's time for my child to talk, they speak and they're heard. If the other adult is speaking, my child is not going to bust in where the part that they think is wrong or whatever it is, because it's a process. Communication is a process. It's listening and it's speaking. And if everybody is speaking or nobody is listening, that's not communication. It's 2 people in a room being fools, or 3 people, or it could be 10 people, whatever it is. But it's very important. It's very important because they learn from us. They learn from us, and they learn how to deal with conflict. And conflict can be anything. Conflict can be them going to school. Conflict is not bad. Conflict, to me, is trying to get to a goal. And there's circumstances that could stop you, or there's things that you need to add in order to accomplish this. So conflicts aren't always bad. You need a conflict in order to accomplish something. So with that being said, help our young people process life. Help them process their emotions. Help them communicate effectively. Help them calm down. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be angry. I'm not saying your kids shouldn't be angry or hurt. Those are emotions, and we all have them. I'm not saying sweep it under the rug, go walk around laughing and smiling at people being disrespectful to your kids, high five them, and I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to go be a doormat. I'm saying to not be 2 people in a conversation, or a conversation. I'm not gonna call it an argument, but don't be that second person and nothing gets accomplished. Teach them how to communicate. That's the biggest thing, is to teach them how to communicate and to have a voice. Make sure your child knows if they're being wrong, to communicate. They can talk to a teacher and let them know how they feel. I don't think it's the right time to yell and scream when they're doing their class lesson, or right when a situation happens and they feel like they've been wrong, to yell and scream and tell the teacher how they feel. No, but I feel like early, before class is the time to speak to the teacher, or after class, if you have a few minutes, ask the teacher, can I speak with you regarding this situation? 2 things with that. If that teacher doesn't have time to talk to you, you're going to be late for your next class. So don't play yourself. Don't play yourself. Just know what you're doing. Be strategic. Plan. If the teacher doesn't communicate, or you feel like you're not getting across to this teacher, they have bosses. Go to the counselor. Talk to the counselor. Go to the principal. And then, of course, please give your kids room and space to be able to communicate at home, so that you know what's going on. But just, so we all can live in peace and love. Let's just help this generation. It's a lot going on, and our kids are mad and they are angry and they are hurt, and they have a lot of reasons to. There's a lot going on, but we can help them. We can help them to process life and process their emotions and try to find the good so that they can operate and they not walking around stressed out and depressed at 10 and 12 and 15 years old because everything seems to be going wrong. No, let's help them to process life and to love beyond limits. Seriously, literally, love beyond limits. There's healthy environments, and if it's not, we can produce them together. You guys have a wonderful day.